second game. It's not my fault. Because I was here for every single game that they won.
Yeah, but listen, it's because you decided to leave. So it is your fault.
Well, no, I didn't decide to leave. I gave you the second game. I gave you the leadership. Actually, I should change this one. So if they lose, you were the only one here.
Yeah, but it's because you left. You said that won every time you went.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you leave, it's
Yeah, yeah, but I wasn't here, so it doesn't count.
I think that it's probably because you put so much pressure on me that I'm gonna mess it up for them. Maybe if you don't put so much pressure on me.
You're a natural, so it should come easy.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound stupid. What's DH again?
Doesn't get any better.
Welcome to Lincoln High School, the home of your Red Raiders.
Good morning, baseball fans, and welcome to the Rapids Area Sports Complex on the campus of Lincoln High School for this afternoon's Varsity non-conference baseball doubleheader.
Welcome, baseball fans, and welcome to this rainy Saturday afternoon to watch high school baseball between Eau Claire North and Wisconsin Rapids, presented by Rapids TV. I'm your host, Braden Lauersdorf, and here joined today by Dana Tritz. And let's get into the starting lineups. All right, so starting with Eau Claire North, leading off, the second baseman, number 7, Jack Keene. Batting second, the left fielder, number 8, Brayton Thillman. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 6, Logan Hesselman. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 5, James Jorinsky. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 20, Knox Weathers. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 11, Ryan Hall. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 14, Nick Tumanek. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 9, Cole Rupert. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 15, Ben Metler. And now for your Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders, leading off, the center fielder, number 8, Brendan Huber. Batting second, the pitcher, number 8, Brett Simonson. Batting third, the catcher, number 19, Cannon Plowman. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 21, Braden Lewis. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 11, Ethan Freeman. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 17, Josh Tokarski. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 18, Brian Olds. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 5, Jackson Laskowski. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 27, Marco Simonson. Rapids is coached by head coach Bob Galetta and assisted by Dan O'Connell and Brian Wendt. And Eau Claire is coached by head coach Jordan Fish and assisted by Dan Schurer, Darren Leonard, and Ethan Bartles.
Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 11, Ethan Freeman. He'll be hitting for shortstop, number 2, Caleb Ellis. Batting sixth, third baseman, number 17, Josh Tokarski. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 18, Brian Olds. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 5, Jackson Laskowski. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 27, Marco Simonson. The head coach for Lincoln High School is Bob Galetta. He is assisted by Dan O'Connell and Brian Wendt. The umpires for today's game are Derek Freeman and Corey Gersnell.
Never does.
Leading off for the Huskies, the second baseman, number 7, Jack Keene.
All right, and starting off with a strike, up to bat for the Huskies, the second baseman, Jack Keene. Two strikes in a row for the pitcher, Brett Simonson, starting out for Wisconsin Rapids. And that's fouled off over by the third base side by Josh Tokarski. And Ethan Freeman will go catch that foul ball. And that'll hit Jack, but he won't walk. Hit his foot on that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. And a wild pitch, 2 balls in a row for Brett Simonson. And this one hit over at the same side. The first foul ball was hit over at the third base side. I'm surprised the last piece up here too. And fouled away again. Keene stays alive for 1 more pitch. 2-2 count, no outs. Simonson's 8th pitch coming up. On the release, and it's hit straight past Simonson, and Olds is able to get it in time for the out to first base where Braden Lewis is. So that'll be the first out of this half. And next up to bat for the Huskies, number 8, the left fielder, Brayton Thillman, excuse me.
How batting number 8, Brayton Tillman.
And wow, the first pitch is hit straight up to center field, and I believe Brendan Huber is back there. I'm not sure, but that'll be the second out.
How batting the DH, number 6, Logan
And up
Hesselman.
next, the designated hitter, Logan Hesselman. And Simonson's 10th pitch will be low for ball 1 for Hesselman. Coming into 2 outs for Hesselman, 1 ball. No runners on base. And that'll be low for ball number 2, just outside the strike box. And 3 balls in a row now for Simonson. Hesselman with a huge cushion. And Simonson will walk Hesselman to first. His first walk of the game. And up next, number 5, the third baseman, James Drzezinski. Fresh count for James with 2 outs and a runner on first. Wow, hit straight towards third base side where Josh Tokarski was, and straight into the mitts of Josh Tokarski. And that'll be the third out for the first half of the first inning. And we'll be back with the second half. I don't really know what he's saying. It's kind of hard having 2 commentators on baseball. home for a game and the other team is home. So if you don't do it, then it just stays the same. But it doesn't really matter really too much. So yeah. So after this happening, I'm gonna go over there and tell them to put the score up to 1-0 because it doesn't show. Everything else shows for some reason. Nothing shows right away until you enter in a value, and I don't know, it's just weird. So, you can start.
Leading off for the Red Raiders.
All right, and leading off, number 3, Brennan Huber from Wisconsin Rapids, the center fielder. Now, I'm not so sure if Huber still leads in batting percentage in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. He did a while ago uh, during their last home game here at the Quadplex, as the first pitch is a strike to Huber. So Huber for sure, Wisconsin Rapids' best batter, and we'll see what he shows us here in the first inning. And that one to the right for ball number 1. 1-1 count for Huber. And that is going to be a hit past the shortstop and past third baseman, right to left field. And Huber will get a base hit. He'll make it to first. And now batting, number 8, the pitcher, Brett Simonson. Pitcher on pitcher matchup here. And Kevin Plowman on deck for Rapids. On the mound for the Huskies is number, I can't really see his number. Is that a picture on here? And the first pitch to Simonson is off for ball 1. And that'll be a strike 1 for Simonson. And on the mound for the Huskies starting out is Elijah Rathke, number 13. So number 13. And that's going to be way high for ball 2, Simonson. Simonson with no outs, 2 balls and a strike, and Huber on first. And Huber runs to second, slides in, but unfortunately it doesn't count because Simonson's hit was fouled. So Huber returns to first, and Simonson with a 2-2 count. And Huber runs to second again, but the second baseman throws to first and will get Simonson out for the first out of the second half of the first inning. And up next now, number 19, Kevin Plowman for Wisconsin Rapids. Huber advanced to second and is in scoring position for Plowman. 1 out, and Braden Lewis on deck. And a little high for ball 1 to Plowman. And Weathers will have a little talk with his pitcher, reviewing some plays and just communicating on which pitches to throw. Huber leading off at second. Huber dancing with Elijah. And that'll be strike one for Plowman. Elijah thought about it, but pitches a ball to Plowman. Two-one count for Plowman, 1 out, and Huber still at second. And this time Elijah does throw, but overthrows, and Huber will advance to third. And Huber steals the third from the overthrown pass from Elijah Rathke. And Plowman now with a 2-1 count with 1 out, and Huber at third. And that is going to be kneed away by, and Huber will come home, running in a score for Rapids, increasing the lead to 1. Now the score is 1-0 Rapids. With that wild pitch kneed away by Weathers, Huber just ran home and put up a score for Rapids, and Plowman hits that straight up into right field, and it'll be brought down by the second baseman. And next up to bat, number 21, the first baseman, Braden Lewis,
For Wisconsin Rapids,
the future
first
pioneer.
baseman, number 21, Braden Lewis.
Let's see what Biscuit has in store for us today. And the first offering is a ball. And the second is a strike, so 1-1 count for Lewis, 2 outs. And wow, that is going to be hit straight towards the heel of Elijah Rathke. That's got to hurt, but Lewis makes it to first, and we'll get a base hit. So Elijah walking off that heel hit. Fish comes out to talk with his pitcher to make sure everything is all right, and so does Coach Galetta for Rapids. And it seems like he is able to walk it off, and everything is all right with Elijah.
Hitter, number 11, Ethan.
And now
Freeman.
Ethan Freeman up for Rapids, number 11, the DH. Lewis on first for Ethan, and fresh count for Ethan. And that'll be right down the middle for strike one. And Lewis thought about it, but returns back to first with that grounded pitch from Elijah. One count to Freeman, 2 outs. Lewis on first. 1-0 score. Rapids up 1, and now a 2-0 count, or a 2-1 count, excuse me, for Freeman. And another grounded pitch for a 3-1 count to Freeman. Freeman with a little bit of breathing room here. And the pitch is off for ball 4. Freeman will walk to first. Lewis will walk to second. And now up to bat, number 17, Josh Tokarski, the third baseman, with Brian Olds on deck if needed. 2 outs and a fresh count for Josh, with a runner at scoring position at second, Braden Lewis, and Freeman at first. Wow. And a high pitch for ball 1 to Tokarski. And that'll be a strike. 1-1 count for Tokarski now. And Tokarski, wow, hits that towards middle left field. Lewis racing home, and he slides home, and everybody is safe. Lewis adding a score on to Rapids. Freeman advancing to third, and Brian Olds up next for Wisconsin Rapids, number 18.
Wisconsin Rapids, the second baseman, number 18, Brian Olds.
And Tokarski at first. Lewis increasing the score to 2-0. And Olds with a fresh count and 2 outs with Freeman on third. And he has to lean back for that pitch. Ball 1.
Go ahead and say something. You're my color commentator. Say something.
And Tokarski will advance to second. All these advances coming from wild pitches from Elijah Radke. Now 2 players in scoring position for Brian Olds. And that'll be a strike for Olds. 2-1 count, 2 outs. Jackson Laskowski on deck if needed. And that is hit straight back for strike 2. What an interesting first inning for Rapids, and Eau Claire pitching to Rapids. And another wild pitch thrown over Weather's head as Freeman bursts into home, adding yet another score onto Rapids' total. 3-0 now, Rapids leads. And now all that's left is Tokarski at third, and Olds with a full count, and stays alive with that hit, fouled backwards. And Brian bounces that towards the third baseman. And it drops out of the first baseman's glove. And Josh Tokarski adds yet another score to Rapids' total. 4-0 now in the first inning as the ball slips away from
And the right fielder, number 5.
number 14, Nick Tumanek. And Brian Olds will stay at first. A base hit for Olds, and Jackson Laskowski up for Rapids now. And there's another wild pitch over the head of Laskowski. Ball one. Rathke with a total of 31 pitches in this inning. And make it 32 with that pitch. And Tokarski will be, Olds will be safe. They all look the same. And Laskowski with a hit towards the third baseman, and it slips away from him. And Rapids players just keep on getting base hits and staying safe. And now a mound visit by Coach Fish, talking things over with his pitcher. I know Elijah is upset right now, but he needs to stay focused. And I think that's what his coach is going to be telling him. 33 pitches in total for Rathke. And Coach Galetta will be talking to Olds and maybe Laskowski if he has time. But now up to bat, number 27, Marco Simonson for Rapids, and Brett Simonson on deck if needed, I think, or Huber. Yep, it's Huber. Huber on deck at the top of the batting order. And we will continue things.
Rapids, the left fielder, number 27, Marco Simonson.
Simonson with fresh count and 2 outs. 2 runners on base. And that's going to be a hit, and that'll be the 3rd out for the Huskies, ending the first inning. The score 4-0, Rapids leads. And we will be heading into the second inning. All right, and leading off for the Huskies at the top of the second is number 20, the catcher, Knox Weathers.
Leading off for the Huskies, the catcher, number 20, Knox Weathers.
Weathers and Rathke, with a tough first inning pitching and catching, having 4 runs come in for Rapids in the first inning, and the first pitch to Weathers will be a strike, and we will see how Weathers bats here at the top of the second, returning from catching. And 1-1 count now to Weathers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two-0 count for Weathers. Simonson coming up in his next 2 pitches at his 20th total pitch in this game. And a little bit high for ball 3. 3-1 count to Weathers. that one will slip. Excuse me, can't even talk over here. But slip away from Plowman, and it doesn't matter. It'll be ball 4 for Weathers, and Weathers will advance to first. And next up to bat, the center fielder, number 11, Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall with a fresh count and a runner on base. Weathers on first. And Simonson. Simonson's first offering is a swing and a miss. And Simonson's second is high for ball 1. And that's going to be tipped away for strike 2. It doesn't matter. That is fouled away. Still strike 2 and 1 ball. And a strikeout for Simonson. Simonson first strikeout. And after Hall, batting number 14, the first baseman, Nick Tumiak. And just hit the inside left strike box for strike 1. And that's going to be hit towards the shortstop, Caleb Ellis. And it slips away from Olds. Couldn't get a potential double play, but couldn't get a single play either from that. And
number 9, Cole Rupert.
Now batting, number 9, Cole Rupert. Rupert with 1 out and a fresh count. 2 runners on bases, 1 at second, 1 at first. And first pitch, first hit to third baseman Tokarski, and it'll be an out, second out for Rapids. Lewis able to catch it in time for that out. And the runners advance to third and second. 2 outs for the next up to bat, number 15, the shortstop, Ben Matler. Excuse me. And it'll be hit, but fouled away for strike 1. And hit again, but in foul territory. So strike 2. 0-2 count for Metler and 2 outs. 2 runners in potential scoring positions. This could be a huge at-bat for Metler, and he pops it straight up towards Ellis, and Ellis will send it to first, and it'll be just in time for out number 3. And that'll end the top of the second, and we will continue in the bottom half of the second inning. Thank you all for tuning in on Rapids TV. So, start it with the.
Now leading off for the Red Raiders, number 3, center fielder Brennan Huber. Huber considered top 8 in the state currently. Rathke probably looking for a redemption from the first inning. Many high pitches towards our Wisconsin Rapids batters. Currently has 34 pitches in his sleeve. Going for 35. First pitch is a strike to Huber. 0-1 right now. Fouled off. Going for 0-2 now.
Brett Simonson on deck after Huber, also known as B. Simo.
Pretty high hit from Huber. And left fielder Brayton Philman's going to catch that, number 8. Now we have Brett Simonson coming up. Pitcher, number 8.
Brett Simonson.
1 out for Wisconsin Rapids. On deck after Simonson's going to be Cannon Plowman, our catcher. Brett Simonson, left-handed hitter. Good matchup for a right-handed pitcher. Ball 1 for Simonson. 1-0 right now. High ball number 2 to Simonson. 2-0. 1 out currently. Fouled off, making it 2-1 now. Strike 2 for Simonson. 2-2. Going for the 42nd pitch from Kine. Ball number 3, full count for Simonson. Ball number 4. Simonson walked. Now up to the plate, Cannon Plowman, the catcher. On deck, we're going to have Braden Lewis, the first baseman.
Rapids the catcher, number 19, Cannon Plowman.
Coach Galetta, excuse me, Coach Galetta making sure that Cannon knows the plays that they're gonna run here. And
Simonson attempting to second. Simonson caught stealing. Couldn't make it to second. Rapids currently has 2 outs now. Ball number 1 for Plowman. Rapids currently has 4 hits and currently has 4 runs. Strike 1 to Plowman. 1-1. Strike 2 to Plowman. Ball number 2 to Plowman. 2-2. Pretty low ball right there. And hit to the shortstop. Oh, fumbles it a little bit. And Plowman's going to make it to first because of that fumble. Looks like his hat blew off in the wind there. Now we got Braden Lewis, our first baseman, coming up to bat. Currently have 2 outs for Wisconsin Rapids.
And replacing Cannon Plowman for a pinch runner, number 10, Garrett Jones. Rathke checked on Jones. Freeman on deck if needed after Lewis.
Hit to the first baseman. And that's going to be out number 3 from Braden Lewis. And that concludes the second inning. On to the third inning.
Leading off for the Huskies, second base number 7, Jack Kane.
Leading off for the Huskies, Jack Kine. And hit to center field. Gonna make it to first base with that hit.
Now batting the left fielder, number 8.
Now batting number 8 left fielder Brayton Thilman. Another left-handed hitter here. Good matchup. Little lean off from Kine on first base. Ball number 1. 1-0 for 0 outs in the third inning.
Simonson steps off. Simonson steps off, excuse me.
Simonson taking a little look back at first base there to Kine. And Thilman's going to hit it. And, oh, we're going to have a little fumble. He's going to drop the ball, but he's still going to get somebody out. Marco Simonson, little error there. However, we still got an out of that, so
Number 6, Logan Hesselman.
guess Kine really thought that Marcos was going to catch that. Now up to bat, we have number 6, our designated hitter, Logan Hasselman, hitting for Elijah Rathke, the pitcher. Simonson's going to step off again, looking back at first base. Fouled off to the left. 0-1, 1 out right now. Simonson 33 pitches in. Ball number 1 to Hasselman. Simonson doing a few lookbacks at first base. Hit to center field to Huber. Huber's going to catch the ball. And Thilman's going to run back to first base. Second out of the third inning. Now batting for the Huskies, we got the third baseman, James Jarzinski. And he's going to attempt to steal. He is safe. Thilman is safe. Own 1, 2 outs. Fouled off to the back. 0-2. Jarzinski 0-2. 2 outs. Ball 1 for Jarzinski. High and right. Pretty large lean off of second base there by Thilman. And Jarzinski's going to foul that off again. Still 1-2, 2 outs. Simonson taking a look back at Thilman. Hit to the third baseman, Josh Tokarski. Going to throw it to first base to get Jarzinski out.
What an amazing catch there by Lewis to get that third out to end the inning, or end the first half of the third, excuse me. And yeah, we'll see how Rapids responds in the second half of the third. I can't even talk. I got a frost in my Well, that's fine. If you don't know what to say, just keep talking, basically. But don't talk too much. Like, you can always bring out the weather or, the second game of the doubleheader. Softball's going on. JV's going on. Yeah, I'll actually bring up the softball. See.
Leading off for the Red Raiders, we got number 11, the designated hitter, Ethan Freeman, hitting for Caleb Ellis, our shortstop. Rathke, 49 pitches in, wants to make up for the little mishaps in the first inning. Ball number 1 to Freeman. Ball number 2 to Freeman. 2-0. Oh, actually that was a strike. I apologize. 1-1 right now. 0 out. Beginning of the bottom of the third. That'll be ball number 2 to Freeman. Rathke seems to be throwing a little close to our batters. Freeman is going to foul that off for strike 2. Count is 2-2. Fouled off again. Catcher's going to run for that. Weathers ran for that, but it was not in territory for him to catch it. Count still 2-2 for Freeman. And big strike for Freeman, strike 3. Big swing and a miss. Up next, we got number 17, our third baseman, Josh Tokarski. Tokarski has seemed to have a pretty good game today, already having a hit for Wisconsin Rapids, getting a run for Wisconsin Rapids in the first inning. First ball, first throw from Rathke. Big hit from Tokarski to left field, and the left field person is going to miss that catch, and Tokarski is going to run all the way to third with that hit.
Wow.
Amazing game by Tokarski today. He's having a really good day today.
Big hit, big hit to left field for Tokarski. Manages to get a triple off that. Next up to bat, number 18, Brian Olds, the second baseman. And Rapid softball is being played as well here at the Quadplex versus Hudson. The score is 3-7. Hudson is winning. Bottom of the third.
Strike.
And that'll be, strike one for Brian Olds.
Dakarski in good position to get a run in here. And another ball. Olds signaling Dakarski to not attempt that run there. Count is 1-1 with 1 out. Dakarski on third. Big lean off from Dakarski. Little tip off there by Olds, making it strike 2, 1-2. And the catcher Weathers is going to talk to Rathke. Little mound visit there. Maybe telling him to get his head in the game. Little few high pitches there by Rathke in the first inning and a few in this inning too.
Speaking about weather, the rain has died down to nothing. It was sprinkling earlier and a little bit worse before that. And it's looking better outside here in Wisconsin Rapids at the Quadplex. No sun in sight though, it's still cloudy outside.
Olds is going to foul that off. Still having the count 1-2. 61 pitches from Rathke. Rapids currently has 5 hits. Oh, big strikeout by Olds. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Next, we have up number 5, our right fielder, Jackson Lasowski. 2 outs for Wisconsin Rapids. Dakarski on third. Big lean off from Dakarski, and Lasowski's going to get hit in the shoulder from that pitch. Rathke's been aiming pretty high and close to our batters in these last few innings. However, Lasowski is not going to walk off of that.
Yikes. Hit right in the right shoulder.
Own 1. Swing from Lasowski is going to go to and it's going to lead to out number 3. Thrown to first base. Going into the 4th inning. 4-0. Wisconsin Rapids in the lead. See how the Huskies are going to come back from this.
I wasn't expecting. I had to put that. That was funny.
Leading off for the Eau Claire North Huskies, number 20, their catcher Knox Weathers. Rapids only having 1 error so far. Simonson 40 pitches in. Big swing and a miss there for Weathers for strike one of the.
After 3 innings of play, Rapids 4, Eau Claire 0. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Rapids with 5 hits and 1 error, like Dana said earlier, and Eau Claire with 1 hit and 2 errors as Tokarski makes the power throw, but a little bit too far for Lewis at first, and the runner makes it to first.
Now batting for the Huskies, center fielder,
Now batting for the Huskies, number 11, center fielder Ryan Hull. Rapids now with 2 errors. Huskies only having 1 hit so far in the entirety of the game, 0 runs. First pitch from Simonson to Hull is a ball. Count is 1-0, 0 outs, top of the 4th. That's going to be called a strike to Hull from Simonson, 1-1. Another strike from Simonson, inside corner to the left, pretty low. Just making it as a strike. 1-2 count. Hull is going to hit it to Olds. Throws it to Caleb for a 2 outs.
What an amazing double play there from Olds, tossing it back to Ellis, the shortstop at second, and then Ellis chucking that towards first to Lewis.
Very impressive play there by Wisconsin Rapids. Currently have 2 outs, and we have first baseman number 14, Nick Tumaniak. Pitch almost hitting Tumaniak in the leg. Got out of the way there really quickly for ball number 1. Count is 1-0. Another low pitch by Simonson for 2 balls and no strikes. Strike 1 from Simonson to Tumaniak. And another ball, 3-1 to the first baseman. And full count for the first baseman on the Huskies, 3-2. 2 outs. And he's going to be walked to first base with a ball from Simonson. Next up, we have number 9, the right fielder, Cole Rupert. 2 outs for the Huskies in the top of the 4th. And Rupert is going to foul that backwards for strike number 1. 0-1. Ball number 2 from Simonson. Oh, number 1. I apologize for that mistake.
And Simonson balked, advancing a runner to second, advancing Tumiak.
Ball number 2 from Simonson to report. Tumaniak is currently in a potential scoring position now. After that, with 2 outs. Ball number 3 from Simonson. 3-1 to report. The right fielder. And report is going to hit that to Dekarski, third baseman. And Dekarski is going to make a large throw to Braden Lewis, the first baseman, who's going to catch that for the 3rd out of the top of the 4th. Wisconsin Rapids coming up to bat for the bottom of the 4th.
And it looks like the Huskies have a new pitcher, number 24, Maddox Gertz. All right, and leading off the Red Raiders in the 4th inning, number 27, Marco Simonson, the left fielder.
Number 27, Marco Simonson.
And like I said earlier, the Huskies have a new pitcher on the mound, number 24, Maddox Gertz. Looks like Coach Fish wanted to change some things up for the Huskies. hoping to have some better luck at the mound. And 2 strikes in a row for Gertz, so it looks like maybe things have changed for the better. And ball 1. And almost hitting Marcos on the arm there for ball 2. After Simonson, back to the top of the batting order, Brennan Huber on deck. Simonson hits that straight up. 2-2 count for Simonson. Huber retrieves that foul ball. And causing Simonson to go off balance with that pitch. Full count to Marcos. And that'll be the 4th ball for the full count. Marcos walks to first.
Now batting for the Red Raiders, center fielder
And now
number 3,
batting number 3,
Huber.
Brennan Huber from Wisconsin Rapids, with Brett Simonson on deck. No outs. Simonson on first and Huber up to bat. And first pitch is a strike to Huber. And hit powerfully down the third base line opposite of the field, so fouled. 0-2 count to Huber. Simonson leads off at first. And the first ball to Huber. And Huber hits that to stay alive for one more at bat. And Gertz checks Simonson at first. The pickoff attempt is unsuccessful. And I don't know what to call that pitch, but it was way outside for ball 2. And Huber hits that straight to the left field side, and both players will be safe. Marcos advances to second, and Huber will get a base hit. And now up to bat, number 8, the pitcher, Brett Simonson.
Now batting for Wisconsin Rapids, the
Simon.
pitcher, number 8, Brett.
Cannon Plowman on deck. Simonson with the fresh count and no outs. With 2 runners on base, 1 in scoring position. Marcos Simonson on second. And the first offering is a strike to be Simo. Talk right now. And Brett Simonson, 1-1 count. And Weathers having a conversation with his new pitcher, Gertz. A short little combo. And we'll be right back to action. And right down the middle for strike 2. Simon down 1-2. Still no outs though, so Simonson with space for an out, but that curve called for ball 2. Looked like a strike to me. And Simonson hits it to the second baseman, who will throw it to first in time for the first out. And Simonson advances to third, and
Now batting the catcher, number 19.
Huber advances to second. Kenneth Plowman now up to bat, number 19, the catcher, and Bray Lewis on deck. Plowman with 2 runners in scoring position here, and with 1 out and a fresh count. And Plowman pulls back that bunt, and it will be a ball. And another ball for Plowman. Imagine we walk home beside this. We need bases loaded. And a third ball to Plowman. 3 in a row. Plowman with huge space here as a car alarm is going off in the Wisconsin Rapids parking lot. Somebody attempting to break into my car? Well, too bad, because I will find them. And that has popped up and will be caught by the pitcher Gertz, and Plowman will be out for out 2. And next up to bat, number 21, the first baseman, Biscuit Braden Lewis. And as always, one of the clutcher players on the Wisconsin Rapids team. So down 2 outs, fresh count. Let's see how Lewis fares with this at bat, as the first offering is a ball. And the car alarm did go off, so I think they got tased by my alarm system there, by my security system. Lewis with runners on second and third, with now 2 balls and no strikes, but there is 2 outs. And Lewis hits that straight towards the visitor stands at the Wisconsin Rapids football stadium, with Trust Bank Field. Two one count for Lewis, 2 outs, runners in scoring position, and now a 3-1 count to Lewis. A potential walk, potential big play, potential out here for Lewis. One of these 3. Or I could just go straight to a full count. And it looks like a walk for Lewis. Lewis walks to first. Base is loaded now for Ethan Freeman, number 11. The DH.
Now batting for the Red Raiders, the DH, number 11, Ethan Freeman.
And Josh Tokarski waiting on deck if needed here. Freeman, a huge chance to make a big play for Rapids here. Bases loaded, fresh count, 2 outs. And first offering is a ball. Fast pitch turns into a ball. And coming up on 30 pitches for Gertz. 2 more to go. And 60 pitches for Brett Simonson. And that turns into a 2-0 count for Freeman. And it looks like we're going to walk home. Gertz repositioning himself on the mound. And the Rapids players are getting rowdy and excited as that turns into strike 1 for Freeman. And that'll bounce off the ground for ball 3. 3-1 count to Freeman now. So much suspense and tense here at the Quadplex. 3-1 count for Freeman, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Hits it towards the shortstop who dives to try to get it. And it slips away past the shortstop. Simonson races home and adds another point to Rapid score. And all players are safe. I did not expect that, but all right. So next up, number 17, Josh Tokarski. Tokarski with a new fresh count and 2 outs. Bases loaded. And on deck if needed, Brian Olds. And wow, what an inning this has turned into for Rapids. And whether we'll have another talk with his pitcher, another short one. Trying to get him focused and his head in the game because he still needs 1 more out in this inning. And the first offering is a ball. Wow! And that pitch thrown behind Tokarski. I'm not sure if he could have been able to hit that one. I mean, maybe if he swung backwards, he could get a little nick off of that. And it looks like Coach Fish will have a talk with his pitcher on the mound, throwing 2 straight balls to Tokarski. All Gertz needs is 1 out, bases loaded for Rapids. And Rapids running in Marco Simonson to add their score to 5-0. 5 Rapids, Eau Claire nothing. Rapids having 7 hits, 2 Eau Claire's 1, and both teams have 2 errors. And a short little talk over, and we will be back momentarily. And that pitch turns into ball 3 as Huber races home, increasing the score and lead to 6. And now 2 runners on base for Tokarski. Tokarski 3-0 count, 2 outs. Lewis on third and Freeman on second. And that'll turn into strike 1 for Tokarski. 3-1 count now. Wow, and a huge swing and a miss for Tokarski. That was going to go far if he hit that one. Full count now for Tokarski with 2 outs. And we will see what happens next. And that's what will happen next is Tokarski will walk and turn the bases loaded again for Brian Olds, number 18, second baseman. So Brian Holtz coming in again with a fresh count and 2 outs, bases loaded. I think the third player to do so in this inning. And so let's see what Brian Olds has in store for Rapids. And first offering is a strike as always. I think the past 3 first offerings have been strikes. And wow, that one will hit Brian Olds right in the shoulder, and that'll walk home Braden Lewis, increasing the lead and score to 7. And another mound visit will be happening for the Huskies coach and their pitcher. And yeah, 7-0 score for Rapids. And it looks like the pitching change did not fare out well for the Huskies. It didn't necessarily worsen their pitching, but definitely not better. And it looks like they will have a new pitcher. Number 22, Trenton Palmer, will be pitching, it looks like, for the Huskies. And we'll be back momentarily after he finishes practicing. And for those who aren't tuning in to the softball game that's happening at the Quadplex, an amazing play just occurred over at the softball side for Varsity. The center fielder caught a fly ball to get the third out of the bottom of the 5th. The score is still 6-7. Hudson leads. So a big play with 2 runners on base for Hudson. Huge play for Rapids, and they'll be batting now at the top of the 6th. And back to this baseball game. Jackson Skowski up to bat with 2 balls and no strikes. And that'll go right over the pitcher's head. And Freeman will be safe as he slides in home, adding another score to Rapids total. And 8-0. 4 runs for Rapids in the first, 4 in the 4th. And, I mean, there's nothing I can really say other than what a game this has been for Rapids. So far in this game, it's been, as Laskowski walks. I mean, most of it, yes, has to do with the Huskies pitching, which hasn't been great. Don't get me wrong, with so many walks, but at the end of the day, the score is what matters, and a win is a win. So, just an amazing played game by the Rapids players so far. And Marco Simonson, Brett Simonson's brother, up to bat.
Bases loaded again for Wisconsin Rapids because of Lisowski's walk. Count is now 2-0 with 2 outs. 3-0 now for Simonson, our left fielder. And Simonson's going to be walked, bringing in another run for Rapids, making the score now 9-0. And now we have our center fielder, number 3, Brennan Huber, coming up to hit. Huber taking his secondary schooling to UWSP. Fresh count with 2 outs, bases loaded again for our top 8 in the state hitter. And he's going to get strike 1, 0-1 for Huber.
Is he actually 8th in the state?
Top 8. Ball 1 for Huber, 1-1, 2 outs. Rapids with only 7 hits, managing to have 9 runs out of that. Huber is going to pop that up. 3 players on the other team running for it, and the third baseman, Jarzinski, is going to catch that for out number 3. We're going to be going to the top of the 5th for Eau Claire North Huskies to see if they can make any sort of comeback with this.
And going back to Marcos and Brett Simonson, I always say what an experience it is to play with your brother in the same sport on the same team. And a couple games ago, they were actually on the field together. I think Marcos was on base and Brett was batting. So yeah, that's always something special. And Marco Simonson, a senior, graduating this year, and Brett Simonson, a sophomore. I do not know if Marcos is going into secondary education or what he is doing after high school. But good luck to all the seniors at Lincoln High School and this baseball team. And we wish you well in whatever comes down your path, down the line. Yeah, thank you for all the seniors and all of the baseball players on Varsity for an exciting season so far. Undefeated at home, which is always special. And yeah, we'll be back at the top of the 5th.
Now batting number 15, shortstop Ben Metler for the Eau Claire North Huskies. And Simonson's going to throw first strike of the inning. 0-1, 0 outs, top of the 5th. Eau Claire North currently has 2 errors and only 1 hit out of Simonson. 0 runs. Simonson, 62 pitches in, going for his 63rd. Big swing and the miss there for Metler. Count is now 1-2. And strike 3. First out of the inning from Simonson. Good strikeout there. Didn't even swing at that ball. Next we have Jack Kane, the second baseman, number 7, hitting for Eau Claire North with fresh count and 1 out. Simonson very far out and high for ball number 1 to Kane. And big swing. Brian Oltz is going to dive for it, but not obtain it in his glove for the... And kind is going to make it to first base with that little mishap. Now batting left fielder number 8, Brayton Thillman. One out for Thillman. Got fresh count. And Thillman's going to hit that to our right fielder, Jackson Lasowski. Make it on the base. Now they have Metler in, or excuse me, I think Kane in scoring position. Number 6, the designated hitter is up, Logan Hasselman. Fresh count with still 1 out. Kane in scoring position on second base. Big lead off for Kane there. Very high and out ball number 1 from Simonson. 2 runners on base for Hasselman. Hasselman hitting for the pitcher, number 22, Trenton Palmer. And Hasselman's going to hit it towards our left fielder, Marco Simonson, who's going to catch it for out number 2. No runners advance. Now batting number 5, our third baseman, James Jarzinski. Runners on first and second. Big lead off from Kind again. And he's going to go back to second. 2 outs. Simonson stepping off, looking back at Kane on second. And that's going to be strike 1 for Jarzinski. 0-1, 2 outs. Simonson looking back at Kane again on second. And that's going to be ball 1 for Jarzinski. 1-1, 2 outs. Ball number 2, 2-1 to Jarzinski. Simonson going to step off again, looking at Kane on second. Kane having to make a run back to second with his big lean off. Simonson back again. And Jarzinski is going to foul it backward. Count is now 2-2 with 2 outs. And number 5 is going to hit it and make it, for out number 3. Leading into the bottom of the 5th.
And through the through 4 innings of play and through the first half of the 5th inning, thank you all for watching this high school baseball game, Eau Claire versus Wisconsin Rapids, presented by Rapids TV. And we'll continue play at the bottom of the 5th. So I need to see if it's. Yeah, you can. All right, and leading off for Rapids in the 5th inning, number 8, Brett Simonson.
Up for the Red Raiders, the pitcher, number 8, Brett Simonson.
And the first offering is a ball to Simonson. Okay. And a swing and a miss for Simonson for strike 1. All right, and that'll be ball 2 to Simonson. And a 2-2 count now for Simonson. And a swing and miss for Simonson for strike. Okay. And there we go, a wild pitch, full count now to Simonson.
For the Red Raiders, the catcher, number 19,
A swing and a miss for Plowman. And wow, that is hit into deep right field, and it lands fair. Plowman racing to second, and he will stay at second. A double for Cannon Plowman. And now, next up to bat, number 21, the first baseman, Braden Lewis. Braden Lewis with 1 out and a fresh count with Cannon Plowman at second. And the offering is a strike to Lewis. Ball 1 to Lewis. And that is going to be hit straight back for strike 2. And that's going to be strike 3, another strikeout. This time Lewis. And next up to bat, number 11, Ethan Freeman, the designated hitter. One out count to Freeman. And it turns into a 1-1 count with that swing and a miss. And a Cannon Plowman races to third and rounds off third to come home from a overthrow to third. Plowman increases the lead to 10 nothing. And the 10-run mercy rule for Rapids. Rapids wins. And they are still undefeated for all of the games that I have announced here. And we will see if they still remain undefeated in the second game of this doubleheader coming up soon. Rapids wins 10 nothing. And yeah, we will be taking a little break. So stay tuned for the second game of the doubleheader. Thank you all for watching the first on Rapids TV. This has been Braden Lauersdorf and Dana Tritz, and we will see you in a little bit. Thank you.